Hi guys, welcome to my sports broadcasting podcast on the relationship between media with global and national audiences. I'll be talking about the transitional differences the rugby coaches have when going from local or national level to international or global level. Firstly, the difference between globalisation and nationalism. Globalisation is the process through which companies or other sports organisations start operating internationally and gain worldwide influence. Linking to the theory of digital divide by Norris 2001, globalisation is a key factor in the relationship with media. Nationalism, on the other hand, is the identification with one's own nation or country and advocacy for its interests, often at the expense or exclusion of other countries. It is crucially linked to the relationship between media and is also a key ideology for the theory of national identity contribution. Both of these are essential when looking at the importance and relation to media. So, in this podcast, we are focusing on rugby, specifically from coaches from national and global insights. It's commonly acknowledged that the media plays a key part in turning a sportsperson into a celebrity. When national coaches preside over good team performances, the media also accordates them cherished symbolic status, demonstrating its relationship with the media. Their identities and nationalities now play a significant role in media disclosure or elite sport as a result of mass migration of elite head coaches, specifically to the UK, as shown through research. National identity is a complex cultural structure that through success in media is highlighted globally. Coaches in rugby are well known locally and nationally among communities. However, when they achieve a job at a globally recognised team, they become international. However, there are also negatives to this. If the team fails, the media frequently focuses its criticism on the specific head coach or other coaches, which can eventually lead to firing or even resignation, demonstrating the importance of media and its relationship for national and global audiences. There are many aspects to the relationship between media, including global and national audiences. A significant portion of media conversation of elite sport or rugby has now included the identities and nationalities of top coaches. Bordeaux in 1998 comments on elite head coaches migrating specifically to the UK. For example, Eddie Jones, an Australian with Japanese heritage, now coaching the England Rugby Union team. Global coaches in national and international teams are shown much more in the media nowadays. When we look at the data specifically for rugby, the British Broadcasting Company, or BBC, compared to the Australian Broadcasting Company, or ABC, Britain tends to mention Australian rugby and other related aspects more. See examples. They have a further grasp on global news and tend to report more, even only brief. Australian news was mentioned on the BBC 12 times the week of Eddie Jones becoming the head coach of the England Rugby Union team. However, compared to British news only being spoken about 4 times on the Australian Broadcasting Company. This analysis shows that both broadcasting stations of BBC and ABC have globalisation and included in it to an extent, but the British tend to focus more on nationalised or global events. Global and national audiences both need media in order to succeed. Whether tabloid media, such as internet or magazines, often known as old media, or new media, including the internet, social media, or even Web 2.0. The use of new media is common because fans use multiple platforms to follow rugby. The platforms allow for content outside of live games. Nationality through this is through community and a relationship with the media on a national scale. This is key. However, globalisation is much bigger, including the fan bases. In many ways, the development of globalisation of sport is shown by the economic, cultural and organisational interconnection symbolised through sport. This is crucial when looking at the differences rugby coaches have when going from a national to a global level, such as Eddie Jones, who we've already spoken about in this podcast. This also highlights how sport and media need each other on national and also global levels. Overall, the transitional differences faced by rugby coaches moving from a local or national level to an international or global level, can be used to illustrate the interaction between media when examining national and globalization audiences.